the most important thing is to really get connected to people. What makes Talk so special is how everyone is open to meet each other and build everything as a team.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Get to Be School. This is your host, Drex, and today is episode 22. We have Magdala Díaz de Rávago. She's coming to us from Tuck, and I'm so grateful that she would come on the show. She's got a lot of really good insights, some golden nuggets. Congratulations to her. She was just awarded the Julia Stell Award by faculty and classmates. So that's a big deal. Congrats to her. That's huge. Before we get to the good part, bit of an announcement. If you watch the video right now, you will notice we are not in my apartment or the office. We're actually in Florida with some friends doing a bit of a reunion, and it means that the family needs a little bit more time this week. So for the first time, we are going to take a 1-week break. We'll be back on the 30th with another great episode. We have several interviews lined up. Please know this is a tough choice. I realize consistency is everything with these things, but the family just needs a little bit of time this week. So hope you stay with us. Hope you can give us that time. Grateful that you're here. Maybe use this chance to buff up our Instagram. Go follow us on the social medias. It's not great. I know I need to work on the social media game. Have a great week. Do something really fun. We'll do the same over here. And let's get to the good part with Magdala. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you so much, Drex, for the opportunity. The first time I'm doing something like that, but I'm really, really excited.
You've been so easy to work with. You know William Adams from Bain internship. Is that correct?
Yes, we worked together in our internships. I came from Tuck and we met there, and he's great. I'm really thankful that he also told me about this opportunity, and I'm more than happy to be here.
That's great. Will you introduce yourself to the listeners a little bit? Give us a story or a glimpse into who you are.
Absolutely. Well, I'm Magdala. I'm from Peru. I studied industrial engineering as my undergrad career, and I've always also been a mix of an entrepreneur too. I managed my bakery brand since I was 15 years old, always as a part-time thing in high school, undergrad, everywhere, and even now, not as a business right now, but as a passion. But actually, I was able to pivot from part-time to full-time to my baking around pandemic. I've also done a little bit of consulting, and right before Tuck, I was an independent consultant specialized in growth strategy, sustainability, and also helping startups in Peru to go to the next level. It's quite a unique background, which I'm really happy to share.
No, that is unique. Bakery to Bain. This is going to be so fun to hear. What are you baking? I love baked goods. So,
Well, the brand is called Magdala Patisserie. Obviously, right now it's not open or working. It's just like my identity, but it was the most important thing is that everything is customized. For example, cakes or brownies will always be decorated with a theme that the customer wanted. I could have an order of cupcakes that had a dinosaur, french fries, had a letter and a number, or whatever people want it. I really enjoy it. And now I do whenever I can something for my classmates, for my friends to celebrate the birthday or whatever. It's me that brings the cake.
yeah. Okay, Magdala is the one who makes the cake. Let's go from the bakery for a moment and go to applications. Talk to me about when you considered going to business school.
This was around 2022, I guess. I'm kind of lost in that timeline because it was quite a long process. I initially wanted to apply. Actually, the getting the score was a big challenge for me, like any type of exam. Although I came from a numbers background, engineering degree, and everything, something happened to me in the GMAT that I had to take it 8 times and then pivot to a GRE because it was not working. And through that process, I also decided to pause my application and actually apply the following year. So that was a really good decision because although I was, yes, waiting a little bit more, I didn't feel comfortable with my scores. And I thought that I could actually improve my application, get to know more about schools, and then get it. I did apply for about 5 schools, knowing since the beginning, since I knew about Tuck, there was something that I cannot explain that I knew that Tuck was for me. And actually, I was the one that introduced Tuck to my boyfriend at that time, currently my husband. And I told him, we need to go there. This is the space for us. And at the end, it worked out. We got admitted, both got admitted and rejected and everything from the same schools. And we're debating between 2. But at the end, there was this special feeling that was that, no, there's no way we cannot go to Tuck. So that's how we ended up here.
Wow. Okay, let's double click on a few things here. Taking the GMAT 8 times, what a show of resilience. Was there a moment that you considered ditching the whole thing, around test 4 or 5?
Yeah, I was at one point, I remember it was December December. It was my last chance to get the score and apply for that year.
Yeah.
And something happened to me that I got the worst score ever, even from my first simulation during that test, while having a really good score the day before in a simulation. So it's just like my mind blocked. And by coincidence, also my partner's exam system collapsed. So he did the test and the score was not recorded. So we're like, okay, there's something that maybe we should stop here and have more patience and give it a try in a few months. Let's just do more things here in Peru and then like go to the next step. So it was tough. It was a really tough moment to like take this decision of, okay, let's stop here and not finish all the opportunities to take the test in my case. And after that, I think it was a really good thing to wait. And at the end, the group of people that is here is amazing. So I would not change a thing.
Wow. Well, I'm glad. So you pivoted from GMAT to GRE. I'm a big advocate of the GRE.
Yeah.
Talk to me a minute about what you think.
Yes, actually, I did something that I would not recommend. I sent my papers to talk to secure an interview, which I do recommend to do that because there's certain rounds where you can send your papers a little bit earlier and you get an interview guaranteed. But I updated my score in between. Like I sent a not competitive GMAT, but I had something. And I attempted to pivot to a GRE at that point, which was a little bit the time was limited because the decision dates were coming. However, at the end, the GRE did work. I think it helps because I was prepping for the GMAT so long that the quant part was my strength also in the GRE. My personal perspective is that maybe that GRE math is like a medium of GMAT. So for me, that was like the nerves didn't cut me there. So it was easier for me to get a better score in that part. And at the end, verbal, it was something that I just had to practice.
Yeah. I hated the GMAT data sufficiency. Anything I could do to get away from those. Okay. Besides showing resilience in testing, what do you think gave you the in at Tuck?
I think it was my unique background, actually. This mix of impact. I've always talked about doing good, like as a purpose of mine, making others feel happy in some way. I see that through baking, and I also see that through consulting. It's my way of looking at things because at the end in consulting, you're helping others to resolve their problems. And in baking, you are baking something to celebrate other person's birthday or being the partner of a special occasion that you will not be part of, but at the end, it creates a smile on the other one. So I felt that line and like being open about my experience, obviously it's not like a corporate experience before coming to MBA, was that gave me that chance to be here.
Okay. And hopefully we're not going too far back here, but I'm just so curious with this bakery to Bain story.
Okay.
When in this baking phase did you hear about business school? Were you around people who were doing business school? What was the exposure?
I think it was when I was more immersed into consulting projects too as an independent consultant, because my first job right after my undergrad degree was in a boutique consulting firm specialized in franchises. So that actually gave me lots of exposure to restaurants, hotels, beauty, sports, a little bit of everything. So once when I was an independent professional, I knew what consulting was about, but MBA was something that was not in my mind initially. I think that a couple of things happened. First, I got an injury in my hand while baking that I had to close everything like 2 years before coming to TAC when I was already starting my application. So that was sort of an accelerator for me to push myself forward to do something different too. But also with my clients as an independent consultant, I heard a lot about the MBA, the opportunity to have like a global network, also a way to develop a skill set that I didn't have that much exposure of like a corporate experience. So I saw the MBA as a great channel for me to target that. And also like pushing myself out of my comfort zone, developing leadership skills, getting involved in whatever I could. And it's something that I've done a lot here.
I love this. Let's talk then about your time there. You're wrapping up, as we've said. What have been the highlights of your time at Dartmouth?
I think it's been the best 2 years of my life, actually. I've been involved in so many different things, and I would not change a thing. As second year, I've been co-chair of different clubs. One of them that it's an initiative connected to Dartmouth that is the Mental Health and Wellness Initiative. We work with the MBA office. It's student-led, but it's not a student club. It's a different format because we work directly with the school. But we had the chance to do wellness retreats, wellness breaks, be there for everyone, but in a really fun way and offering this opportunity opportunity for people to stop a bit, because sometimes the MBA can get really crazy, but like bringing a therapy dog to campus and say, hey, if you've got 15 minutes, come and play with a dog or something like that. That's been one of my favorite things that I've been involved. Also, when I was one of the co-chairs of the Admitted Student Weekend, that it's student-led, all the event is organized by students with the support of admissions. And it was amazing. Like how close the organizing team became after that weekend, seeing all the incoming students so happy. I didn't have the chance to go to my Admitted Student Weekends, but being able to lead it was a really rewarding and also a way to give back too. And one last highlight, it's connected to my passion, to baking, and all the opportunities that tech gives you to like own your own story, that I was invited to present in like a TED Talk format called Expert Talk. And I was able to share my story of Magdala Patisserie and how that baking business became a business. And I was able even to do a workshop to teach 50 techies how to decorate cupcakes. Those are really unique things that I think that's how close and tight knit the community is here at Tech. That if you have an idea and you pitch it, you will get the support to do whatever you want that will help the community to learn new things, to have fun. It's been amazing.
That is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about one of these wellness retreats? What was?
Yeah, we have an amazing professor that actually shares he has a big barn for us to go to, and it's for about 40 people that join the retreat once a term. And it's a full day of, we obviously promote like not using phones, no internet, like just to be entirely present and connected. And we have walk, maybe like a slow hike. We have a healthy lunch. We have meditation, journaling, yoga, and Pilates as like part of the schedule. And everything works with students that are volunteers that want to teach, or we work with the Dartmouth Wellness Center, that it's the one of Dartmouth that comes to talk to help us with any class that we need to.
That sounds so enriching. I love that your big push here is just kind of taking care of others and making sure that you are in their corner. It shines through. You know, you can tell that it's not just a story for you, but that's actually the way that you try and live. Talk to me a little bit. I didn't know that your husband was there with you. So how was it going to school with him? What was the navigation there? How much did you do together? How much did you do separate?
I think for us, it's been amazing. We actually planned our wedding in our first year, so it was also a unique experience. We both got the chance to actually secure our summer internships in the pre-MBA programs. He's also going to consulting to another firm, so that helped us a lot to have a little bit more time during our first year. Obviously, being a resource for our classmates by casing and everything, but we didn't have that pressure doing fall term, so we could actually use some time to plan our wedding. But then with the classes, it's been really fun because sometimes we haven't coordinated and we were in the exact same classes in the same schedule without talking. And the other ones, it has happened that we've been in completely different things. I think we both had the chance to choose whatever makes sense to us, but also connect in other ways with the community. He was also one of the co-chairs of mental health and wellness, so we've worked together in that. It was really nice, both of us, to be like leading a club and making sure that activities like took place and do it together. That's been great. And we've always been really involved with a community. There's just one thing that we always do at home. Here is a tradition called small group dinners. It's part of TAC that you get assigned to random people from first year and second year to come to your house for dinner. And students sign up as either hosts or guests. And we have always signed up as hosts. That's something that we've had a great time. And we're doing one tonight with our families that are coming, but we're going to share that it's also a tradition from TAC.
So you're going to have your family and some of your classmates?
Do they know? It's just going to be like both done together, but we just wanted to replicate the experience of how group dinner works.
Yeah, not surprised at all that you sign up as hosts. Would love to be there for dessert. I can only imagine. What do you say to someone who's about to start? They've been accepted to Dartmouth. What do you tell them?
I think the most important thing is to really get connected to people. What makes Talk so special is how close, how everyone is open to meet each other and build everything as a team. Like, I feel that this place has been the most welcoming place I've ever been, even in recruiting. Like, having someone that doesn't know me invest 15 hours of their time to prep me for casing, or seeing everyone so involved, is just get involved. Like, obviously take care of yourself and and rest and everything, but get involved because that's what makes TUC so special.
Love it. This is going to sound like a bit of a step backwards. I wanted to ask this and I forgot. So kind of rewinding here. What was the situation that you both managed to get internships before starting the MBA? How does that work?
Yes, there's some programs that some consulting firms do called pre-MBA programs. And us coming from Latin America, in those cases, we were like eligible for those programs. And we apply before starting classes around May. So that meant having the trade-off of resting, traveling, or casing and moving and everything. So we thought it was a good opportunity just to try. At the end, also as internationals, we have the language barrier. We have all of these things that could make a recruiting process a bit more challenging. So we said at the end, the pre-MBA recruiting will be a bonus round for us. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we already practiced, so it will help us for regular recruiting. Fortunately, everything worked out and we were able to start TUC with our offer in hand. But it was really, really a crazy month when we got the interview invites and we had to deliver a case interview in 2 weeks. So for me, casing became my full-time job at that time, just to learn how to do it. And that's the time when I got a mentor from TUC. He was a second year. I was not an active student yet. I was already admitted, already secured my spots, but I was not in Hanover. And he invested, like, again, 15 hours of his holidays just to prepare me for success, just because that's how things work here.
Wow. Yeah. What a testament to the community there. That's really admirable. Also admirable to you for being so proactive. I think it's much more common to see that window in between working and starting the MBA as like a bonus vacation. Wow. You did not treat it that way.
We decided that our holidays were going to be fall break. After everything ended, we actually rested in fall when the MBA started.
That had to have been nice, except for then you were busy planning your wedding. So you didn't have too much of a break there either. Can you talk to us, Magdala, about how excited you are to go to Bain? How's that feeling?
I'm really excited. I always remember the moment when I got my full-time offer during my summer internship. My manager printed it out and gave it to me and I almost started crying, but I had to not cry. So it was a really special moment. I'll start towards the end of July and I'll be moving to Chicago towards the end of this month. So looking forward to reconnect with everyone that was in my essay class too, and also to continue learning. At the end, I feel that consulting is the best way to learn about everything, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, it'll be fun to have you in the Chicagoland. Okay, maybe the last question for you then. You've talked a little bit about if you're starting at Dartmouth, be involved, take care of yourself, but put yourself out there. Broader advice. What do you have for the MBA community? What do you have for just someone in your shoes 5 years ago? What are you leaving the listeners with?
I think that pursuing an MBA program is actually a transformative experience. There's something that here we always talk about that too, and I can really assure that it's something like that I feel that the Magdala that came day one until now, I've grown so much. I've met so many people. I look back and I think that it's been a whole life that went through, but it's only been less than 2 years. So if you really want to get that inspiration to grow and also to meet amazing people, the MBA is the best way to do it. And at the end, it's just trusting the process. It can be challenging while applying. It can be frustrating and everything and unknown. But I think trusting the process, trusting your story, visiting and getting to know the schools are things that will make the process much more manageable and at the end, driving yourself to success.
Because it was then you felt the pull to TUC, was going and researching the schools, kind of doing your own homework.
Yeah, like just as a side note, how I got introduced to TUC was sort of an accident. TUC is not that known in Peru. It is getting really known because there's a really successful alumni that everyone knows. However, it's not a big name and they're working on it. And we are really promoting how big TUC is for Peru and for Latin America in general. But I saw the story of in Instagram, one of the stories of the older sister of one of my friends in high school. And I saw her in this like magical place learning so much and like saw an article and was really curious. So I just asked her and that was the moment where I said, okay, I need to go there.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. I think this is the perfect place to let you go and get back to prepping for the festivities. But congratulations on your graduation and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Trix. It was a pleasure to be here and wish you all the best too.
this will come out after your party, so I'm not blowing a secret. You got a cake in the background for your friend's surprise party.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like a graduation cake. We're doing an event for all LAVA, like all Latin America club tomorrow. So we will have that cake there. And it's a huge cake. It's for 100 people. Really big.
Word. Great.